Mutant Year Zero Road to Eden has the lowest Metacritic score of any of the other role-playing games on this list, with a score of 78%. As a turn-based tactical role-playing game in which you play as deformed anthropomorphic animals in a post-apocalyptic world destroyed by an outbreak of the Red Plague, it may be the most unusual experience of the bunch. Boarman, a humanoid boar, and Ducks, a humanoid duck, are the two major protagonists. Oblivion may not have been the first Elder Scrolls game on a console, like Morrowind, or as commercially successful as Skyrim, but it was the first fantasy role-playing game for a generation of gamers. Not only could you create an elf or human character, but you could also choose from the Argonians, a reptile species, or the Khajiit, a stealthy feline race. Each has its own set of benefits, with Argonians having the unique ability to breathe underwater, which is rather handy. Oblivion may not be the most popular Elder Scrolls game, but its 94% Metacritic score demonstrates how good it was and is. Oddbug Studios' indie game Tales of Iron gives the impression that George R.R. Martin wrote the Reedwall series. In some ways, the fact that it isn't your typical RPG experience helps its cause. The game is an action-adventure role-playing game known for its harsh combat. You take on the beautiful role of Reggie, the heir to the Rat Throne. It's a game that most reviews suggest, thanks to its unique setting, hand-drawn art style, and the workmanship with which each component of the game's overall experience was considered. Dust: An Elysian Tale is a role-playing game that you've probably heard of if you hang out with a diverse bunch of gamers, but it's not as well known as some of the other games on this list. It has an 84% Metacritic rating and is highly worth playing for anyone searching for an action role-playing game. Dust, a feline-raced male warmblood, is the protagonist of the story. The majority of the game's characters appear to be feline at their heart. Those who fall in love with the game will be pleased to learn that it has an animated film set in the same universe as the RPG. The Elder Scrolls series is one of the only role-playing game franchises that has two primary species that are bestial, as previously mentioned with Elder Scrolls IV, Oblivion. Because the majority of Elder Scrolls V, Skyrim takes place in a frozen tundra, playing as a Khajiit makes more sense, as the feline race possesses a covering of fur that protects it from the elements. You can even make a reptile Argonian like the actual Dvakian if you're brave, which makes sense given how similar they are to dragons. Normally, high fantasy games give their races strange or unusual names, but Divinity Original Sin 2 is an aberration. Despite the fact that the popular role-playing game was released in 2017, it still has a Metacritic score of 93%. Players who want to make their own character can choose from a variety of races, including humans and dwarves, as well as a reptile race known as simply lizards in the game. Despite the fact that Chrono Trigger was launched in 1995, Square Enix's magnum opus is still regarded as one of the best role-playing games of all time. Although the most of the party members are humans, there is one notable exception: Frog. He is an intelligent frog who can stand on his own 2 feet and battle with Chrono and his comrades. Before being transformed into an anthropomorphic frog, he was and still is a proud knight named Glenn. Final Fantasy Ziv is a massively multiplayer online role-playing game that has established itself as a top-tier gaming experience. It's now the gold standard in MMOs, and each new expansion tends to attract a large number of new players. The human-like races with cat or rabbit ears garner the most attention, but you can also play as the Hrothgar, a lion-like race that is the most animal bestial of the races available.
Thank you for watching the video. If you liked the video, don't forget to click the like button and subscribe to the page.